This is the plaintiff, Cheryl. She says she rented a room from the defendant, and the woman constantly left the door unlocked, and she felt unsafe. Then she discovered her passed out in the living room chair with a burning cigarette. She knew she was in danger and told the woman she was moving out. The defendant agreed to return her security. She double-crossed her, and that's why she's suing her for $775, the money she's owed. This is the defendant, Angela. She says the plaintiff's a complete nut job who complained her pool was too small and that she only had purple lollipops in her candy jar. The woman's only using any excuse she can in order to get out of her lease. She didn't give her 30 days notice when she vacated, and the plaintiff has major problems. Bottom line, she's not getting any money out of her today, that's for darn sure. She's accused of making a tenant feel unsafe.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented a room from the defendant, says the defendant didn't live safely and didn't lock the door. But the defendant says the plaintiff is insane, even complained about purple lollipops, and just wants out of the lease. It's the case of the bad chip lollipop.
Thank you, Douglas. Cheryl.
Yes.
You are suing Angela. Neither one of you want your last names used for $775 security deposit that she refuses to return and you feel is rightfully yours. Tell me what's going on.
Okay, I answered an ad in Craigslist in the middle of March to rent a room for Angela. It was a beautiful room, nice bathroom. I'd say it was maybe like, I was there 3 or 4 days. I went to go outside, and it was about noon, close to noon, and the door was unlocked. It was later that day when she came home. I told her that I felt very unsafe, and she looks at me like I was crazy, like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you know, the door was unlocked and I was not comfortable. And she said, it won't happen again, you know. And she was like just shrugging it off like it was not important. And the second week, my sister was coming to pick me up. And I told her, you know, knock on the door and I'll come down and get you. And next thing I know, she's walking up the stairs, and I said, how did you get in? My sister.
Okay.
How did you get in?
Okay.
And she said, the door was unlocked. So I said to Angela when she came home that night, I said, you know, I'm really concerned about this. And she was like, you know, it's no big deal. If you're upset, you know, why don't you go down and check it yourself? It was just like I was very unimportant. As well as when I first did move into the apartment, before I actually took it, I saw a few stains on the floor of the living room. And I asked her what it was, and she said it was dirt. So I let that go. When I moved in, she said that it was cigarette burn. She was honest about it. She was a smoker, but she told me she didn't smoke in the apartment because I'm not smoking anymore. I'm trying to quit.
Oh, how could you move in with a smoker then?
Yeah, I didn't want the
because I don't care if they
around.
smoke outside, they still smell like cigarettes.
They do, and the house
I mean-
did smell like it, and I think that she was occasionally, but, you know, that was not here nor there. But between all of this with the door not being locked, one night I did go to the refrigerator, and she was slumped over the computer with a lit cigarette.
What does slumped over the computer mean?
Well, she was
No,
unconscious,
I need to hear the person who's
sleeping.
testifying.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if she was sleeping or what, but she was just like down to her
Was she
knees.
sleeping or wasn't she sleeping?
She
You don't
was,
know?
she was asleep at the computer
And
chair.
there was a lit cigarette where?
in the ashtray.
And what happened?
I went back to sleep.
You didn't snub out the cigarette?
No.
I was like,
I
you
didn't.
weren't worried, but you want me to be worried? Okay, what's going on?
Well, she didn't answer an ad for a Craigslist, and I asked her if she would give me 30 days notice, or otherwise
Did you have a written lease with her?
No.
Okay, go
No.
on.
So otherwise, she would forfeit her security. So she moved in March 24th, and then on around April 18th, she confronted me and saying that she's unsafe. My daughter forgot to lock the door. I apologized, and we made up.
Before that, had you been like irritable with each other, or was there some kind of problem?
She was always complaining about purple lollipops or whatever stupid thing
What
was for
purple
the
lollipop?
day.
What are you talking about?
I have a candy jar, a heart candy jar on the counter, and there's I keep lollipops, and just so happened to be a lot of purple ones. I don't know.
Did she just comment on it, or you mean she was complaining?
She was complaining, I think,
Okay.
Because I said, help yourself,
Okay.
So, but back to anyway, so I had asked her.
Were there other roommates or just the two of you?
No, just the two. It's a huge townhouse.
Okay. Is it in a development?
It's gated.
Okay.
The security guard goes around at night, drives around at night every night.
Why do you keep leaving the door unlocked?
It just happened. My daughter works in Manhattan. I was taking her to the train station. We ran out the door that morning. She was late. It was an accident, and I apologized.
According to her, it happened twice.
No, it happened once, and I apologized to her.
So why do you think she wanted to move then?
Well, this is the point. This is the point where I'm trying to make, is that when I apologized to her, I says, well, Nicole, she forgot to lock the door. She had told me, well, I talked to my sisters. They want me to move out anyway in 2 days because they want me to save up for my own apartment. So she gave me two days notice. So it wasn't about her safety.
All right. So when she moved in, you had her pay a security deposit?
Yes, 1 month.
And her first month?
Yes, at her first
All right,
month.
so at that point, when she's moving out in the end of April,
right,
you have her security deposit.
Right.
She didn't damage anything, but you feel that she gave you insufficient notice.
Exactly.
And that therefore she should forfeit the security deposit because that's your rent for the next month.
Right, exactly. And it takes a while to get someone else in.
Sure. Did you end up getting someone else in?
I did get someone else in, but it took 2.5 weeks.
What kind of notice did you give her?
Okay, I gave her three chances. It was actually a total of 3 times that the door was not locked.
Where was this, the third time? You'd never mentioned in your statement or in this courtroom that there was a third time?
I was leaving the house, and the door was not locked. So that night, I happened to have said to her, this is not funny.
Did you end up moving? Can I ask you a question? Did you end up moving in with your sisters or anything?
Yes.
When did you move in with your sisters?
Actually, I was with my sister before I moved in with her. And the problem was I couldn't afford my own apartment. And that was the way that I could afford my own apartment.
Meaning separate from your sisters.
Right.
And then what? You moved back into your sisters?
Yes.
So had you guys had a fight or anything? You two?
No. No.
So why did you move out and move back in so quickly? Come on up, sister. I want to hear from you.
Okay, so if somebody, you come home and you see the person who owns a house pass out of the computer with a lit cigarette, can you break the lease and get your security back?
Yeah, I'd say so, because it presents a danger to you and your safety.
Is it enough of a danger?
No, it's not. It's a single instance, dude. I mean...
How many does it take?
Especially if in the middle of a lease, I don't think that a single instance like that's enough.
Okay, who's going to be the tiebreaker?
I think it's so negligent. Like, I think one instance like that, it's enough.
How many is enough?
Just one.
Oh, so one, you're out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Going inside the courtroom.
The reason that she moved out is I live in a townhouse in a condominium with my husband.
Oh.
It's small.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
I don't really need you to explain anything else. I've heard enough.
I don't have to say anything else, right?
Right. So you moved back in, and then are you paying rent over there?
No.
Because you're saving up money to get your own place?
Yes.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Okay. Exactly what she says that she said.
Yes. Now,
so Kenny, how you have that ability?
Your
Why
Honor,
would you? So here's the thing. I've already explained what her position is, and now let me explain what your position is, and you tell me if I'm correct. You're saying to me, Judge, the place was uninhabitable, which is what you must prove to me if you don't want to have to give notice. You're telling me, Judge, here's why it's uninhabitable. You've always said 2 times I found the front door unlocked.
2
but
to
let's
3
assume
times.
it's 3. 3 times I found the front door locked, and 1 time she fell asleep with a cigarette in do you smoke in the house or not?
No, I do. In the winter, once in a while, yes.
Did you smoke in front of her?
No.
Did you have a lit
No.
cigarette in front and by your computer?
I possibly did.
So then you're smoking in the house. You have a computer outside?
No.
Right. So
Only
this
in
is
the
why
winter.
you can't
Only in
move
the
with a
winter.
smoker if you're trying to quit, or if you don't smoke, because this is they will smoke inside sometimes. So in any event, let's see how dangerous the lit cigarette in there was. You want me to rule the apartment uninhabitable because of her habits, but you saw it and didn't even snub it out. But I'm supposed to decide that we're about to start a forest fire. I mean, look, you wanted to move out because you wanted to move back in with your sister and save your money, and that's fine. But that doesn't mean you don't have to give her notice.
Your Honor, I felt unsafe. I do have a picture of...
I'm sure you felt unsafe. I don't doubt that you felt unsafe and you didn't like that the door was... I wouldn't like it either. It's not that I don't believe that you felt unsafe. It's that I have to decide if finding a door unlocked twice, because that's what you've always said is that it was twice, would then all of a sudden be tantamount to an uninhabitable place. I mean, the second time you're talking about, you didn't wake up, go outside and see it unlocked in the morning. The second time, it's just the middle of the day and you're there. And you're saying, well, she left it unlocked from before, I didn't know it, so now that made me scared. If you ended up renting it out at the end of May, you don't have a lease with that person, correct?
No.
And you don't know what day, you had said 2.5 weeks, which would then leave a week and a half in May, not 3 days in May. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to order you to return a portion of the security deposit because you are entitled to not lose money, but not make money.
Right.
Okay, did you have to advertise it or anything to get it rented?
Craigslist.
So you don't have to pay for that?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to order you to return a portion of the security deposit. The security deposit is $775, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so it's $193.75, verdict for the plaintiff. The rest of that is to cover the rent that she couldn't have covered because you didn't give her notice. That's my verdict.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff gets a small portion of what she was seeking back. Angela, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. You're smiling. Are you happy?
I am happy.
Why?
Because, in a sense, I did win. Because I only have to give her back part of it.
Right.
That's only fair. Okay. So that's fine. I'm happy.
All right. You feel bad about slumbering with a cigarette in your fingers, as she said you were?
Yes, I do.
That's kind of dangerous, you know.
It wasn't in my finger. It was in the ashtray.
Okay. Well, listen. Thank you for talking.
Thank you.
You must sign some documents. Be careful with those cigarettes.
Okay, thank you.
Quit. Now, here comes Cheryl, the plaintiff. All right, you only got a little bit back. You happy with that? You okay?
No, I'm
satisfied?
not.
You're not?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Well, she's not allowed to rent the apartment. She's allowed to sublet.
Well, you didn't bring that out at all.
I didn't have a chance to.
You could have. You could have.
Yeah, but I did not have a full chance to explain that.
Well, hey, look. Sorry. That's your fault.
I guess it is my fault. Yes.
Thank you very much. You must sign some documents with our defendant or with our bailiff, and that'll do it for this case. Harvey?
Doug, if the landlord breaches the lease by not locking a door or whatever, the conduct really has to be egregious for the tenant to say, I'm out of here and get the security back. I think leaving a door unlocked one time is egregious.